ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमिदां हे महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीं तत्त्वामनुसन्दधामि हे भवद्वेषिणी नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दाय तत्र नेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालदं पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महते वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पल शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वः कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनीं सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणन्ति कैवर्तककेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोद्घटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पतैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलवंशिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमहंसमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगण देवाय तस्मै नमः। Just start Gita. Feeling a little breathless, so chanting is slightly affected. Om Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha. अथ त्रयोदशाध्यायः क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञ विभागयोगो नाम त्रयोदशाध्यायः श्री भगवानुवाच. So from verse number 7 onwards, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Gitacharya, Atmajnana Guru, is highlighting the values that are required for me to gain Jnana Yogyata. For that purpose, some values have been given out. See this. Among them, we saw one value. Let's the values. We'll read all the values. You should keep reading the values so that at least these 20 values we will learn it by heart. Not very difficult. Just chant it a few times, you will get it. We'll chant it for you. If you have the books open, you can chant. Amanitvam madam vitvam, amanitvam madam vitvam, ahimsa shantirarjavam, ahimsa shantirarjavam. Whole line. Amanitvam madam vitvam, ahimsa shantirarjavam. Once more. Amanitvam madam vitvam, ahimsa shantirarjavam. Acharyopasanam shaucham, acharyopasanam shaucham. Sthiryam atma vinigraha, sthiryam atma vinigraha. Full line. Acharyopasanam shaucham, sthiryam atma vinigraha, acharyopasanam shaucham, sthiryam atma vinigraha. Full verse. Amanitvam madam vitvam, ahimsa shantirarjavam. Acharyopasanam shaucham sthiryam atma vinigraha. Verse number 9. Indriyartheshu vairagyam. Indriyartheshu vairagyam. Anahankara evacha. Anahankara evacha. Full line. Indriyartheshu vairagyam. Anahankara evacha. Indriyartheshu vairagyam. Anahankara evacha. Janma mrityujara vyadi khadoshanudarshanam. Janma mrityujara vyadi khadoshanudarshanam. Full verse. Indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha. Janma mrityujara vyadi dukkhadoshanu Indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha. Janma mrityujara vyadi dukkhadoshanu. So people ask the question, why didn't you break up the last verse? See, we are not supposed to break it like Janma mrityujara vyadi dukkhadoshanu darshanam. We should not break up like that. It should be Janma Mrityujara Vyadi Dukkhadoshanu Darshanam. It should be one clean line. Okay. Let's look at verse number 10. Okay. Before we go to verse number 10, there is one value here called Sabinamanittum. I don't want to repeat. Amani quickly. Absence of vanity. Adambitvam. Absence of self-praise. Okay. Adambitvam. Ahimsa. Value for non-injury by thought, word and deed. Shantihi, forbearance. Arjavaram, straightness, integrity. Acharyo, pasana. Shraddha towards the Acharya. Shraddha towards all teachers, particularly Vedanta teacher. Shaucham. Shaucham is purity. Cleanliness, raising the bar of cleanliness, not just to external hygiene, external and internal. Anta, Bahya, Shaucham. Okay? Then, Sthiryam is steadfastness. Atma vinigraha, a certain quiet mastery over self. A certain dignity in self, stubborn mastery. A certain, a refined self-restraint. Very, very refined, very mindful self-restraint is Atma Vinigraha. Indriyartheshu Vairagyam. How is Atma Vinigraha reflected? It is reflected by your Dhamma. Dhamma means how do you interact with the world when it comes to sense. Response to sense stimuli. How do you respond? The response is not reactive. It is proactive. It is thoughtfully responsive. Indriyartheshu Vairagyam. Vairagyam is a maturity. Vairagyam is not any repulsion or revulsion. It is a certain maturity about what is it that I want and what is it that I don't. It's just because something is available in Germans, you have to reach somewhere, a lot of crowding, you say, no, I don't want it. I don't want to get into this kind of a certain intelligent self-restraint from inside and outside. So intelligent self-restraint from inside is Atma Vinigraha. The manifestation of self-restraint is Indriyartheshu Vairagyam. Anahankara Evacha. So there are four, Antakarana has four important functions as though. Manas is where all the stimuli is received. Buddhi is where decisions are taken. Chitta is your database of memories and all the recordings of what happened in the past. And Ahankara is your response in terms of how does it matter to me? What do I get out of it? What is in it for me? That response is called Ahankara. So Anahankara is a person who does not have Anahankara. He does not interpret every response. His response is not, every response is not in terms of what is in it for me alone. The ordinary response is what is in it for me. But an ahankara doesn't interpret everything in terms of what is in it for me. It's a little more broad-based. It could be what is in it for my family. Goes beyond to say what is in it for humankind. How good is it for humankind? Anahankara evacha. The next verse is just, the next line is one value. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Adi, Dosha, Dukkha, Dosha, Anudarshana. So Janma is an event for rejoicing. Is it always rejoicing? Some Janma can even give you, you feel, oh no, not again. Okay? So there are people, gender bias, a child born with a lot of illness, deformity, so many things. Born without some organs. If you look around and into any of these child welfare hospitals, you really wish Janma itself can be a dukkha. So Janma. Mrityu is all Mrityu dukkha. So Mrityu also has to some people say, oh God, relief. This person is finding. Janma, Mrityu, Jara. Okay, old age. Old age is generally considered a dukkha because of both the physical tiredness that comes. Very often, I used to know a person who used to say, my body cannot reach where my mind wants to reach. It has always been like let's not get lost in rhetoric. So when I say Jara, Jara is understanding old age. Your body has to grow old. I don't want to, people say you look very young. When somebody says you look very young, perhaps they're implying that you're old. Hey, you look so youthful. Yeah, that means I'm old, is it? So that's a job, Jara, a proper attitude towards my own age. The body ages. The mind is ever young. Ever young in the sense, it is young in as much as it's alive. I would prefer an alive mind. Old in the body, alive in the mind. I'm aware of what I can do, what I can, how far I should stretch myself. Maturity. So Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, like it or not, some ailment. So the dukkha that comes out of this, and it can come, no, dukkha will come. Dukkha is a part of our system. Dukkha, dosha, anudarshanam. Look at it, looking at all this objectively. Dosha, anudarshanam means these are the limitations. You look at the limitations objectively. That's amazing. So let's go to the next verse. After reading the next verse, I would like to dwell a little more as we are reading the next verse on Acharya. Next verse number 10. Asakti asakti anabhishvangah putradara grihadishu asaktiranabhishvangah putradara grihadishu nityam cha samachittatvam Ishtonistopapattishu. Full verse. Asaktiranabhishvangaha Uttradara grihadishu Nityam cha samachittatvam Ishthanistopapattishu Ishtopapattishu Asaktihi. Sakti means clinging attachment. Okay? Asakti, you are definitely attached to so many things. But it is not a clinging attachment is as much as I cannot do without it. Okay? There's a nice song you would have heard. Tere bina zindagi se koi shikwa nahi. It is quite so much attached. I have no complaint except that you are not there in my life. Asakti is absence of clinging attachment. We are attached, not just ordinarily attached, that cling attachment to so many things. So, after finishing service in an institution, the person would always like to write X so and so of that institution. The higher the position, the X has to be prominently stated. And he will say, do you know I'm so and so? Do you know I'm so and so? So the position attached, excessively attached to the position, then constantly living on what kind of life I lived. When I used to land in the airport, the security used to receive me at the aircraft. I used to be escorted into my car, and then attachment to it was. So I'm attached to my job. I'm not much attachment to the job. If a person was attached to his job, he would really be bothered about it. Attachment to the perquisites of the job, the recognition that they came with the job, and a car which had that red light on top. So when I see somebody else going with that red light on top, I miss my red light. I used to reach there even before I reached. I had the people waiting for me at the reception. My baggage was taken care of. My rooms already reserved and cleaned. I didn't have to wait for anything. I said, there is no attachment. To attachment to what? To the benefits that Artha and Kama gave. Last time I came, they gave me a VIP, VVIP darshan. And this takes you to temples also. You go to a temple, you want VIP darshans. Don't want to stand. They made me stand in the queue like everybody else. I lived on a sprawling Bangalore. Today I'm living in rented accommodation. So all this takes you away from jnana, yogyata. Why does it take you away? Because if you are excessively attached, clinging attached, then the sense of inadequacy, the sense of the sense of insignificance that comes to you minus all those trappings makes you feel really small. That comes to a very important factor. The fundamental. What is my fundamental problem? We have not really inquired into it. What is my fundamental? My fundamental problem is a sense of insignificance. I am I feel insignificant. If I am insignificant, there's not a problem. I feel insignificant. I want to be significant. And my significance comes from all these trappings. A car with a light on top, two outriders escorting me there. Even as my car goes, there's somebody saluting me, receiving me. There's somebody who carries a light pouch of mine, which has only a few visiting cards. He says, sir, I will carry it for you, sir. Somebody opening my door, somebody giving me a seat, and then everybody stands up as I walk in, and then I'm giving glowing introductions, and then everybody claps, and everybody wants to shake my hand. So the sense of insignificance is so strong that is in these trappings. Through these trappings, I gain significance. And I get attachment to them because every time I get these trappings are there, I feel significant. Minus the trapping, stark reality, I feel insignificant. Dependence on trappings for one's feeling of significance is not jnana yogyata prapti. But what is the teaching? It says you are the significant one. The teaching says you are a significant being. And then it says you are the significant being. Goes further and says you are the only significant being. Anything that gains significance is because of your significance. That is the truth revealed to you. If this truth has to work, you are eking out. Yeah, what an excellent word. Getting that sukha lesha. You think there is some, like everything is gone. It happens in Kolkata. My mind goes back. In Kolkata, we get a sweet dish. It's called mishti doi. And after eating the whole thing, youngsters, when nobody was watching, when we thought nobody was watching, we put a finger inside. You want to eke out every little thing. So you want to eke out significance from all these trappings. The trapping themselves do not have significance. From insignificant things, you want to draw significance. Okay, I'm sorry, there was a short, unscheduled power cut. So, am I audible? Yeah? Yeah, good. So, drawing significance
Yes,
from,
not.
so drawing significance from things which are otherwise insignificant, and absence of the desire to draw a sense of significance through clinking attachment to all these trappings is called asakti. Asakti is a very beautiful word. Okay. Then we go to the next one. The rest of it is one value. Anabhishwangaha. Clinging attachment to things is called asakti. There is one more clinging attachment. That is called absence of that clinging attachment is called anabhishwangaha. Anabhishwangaha. Abhishwanga, excessive attachment. One is a clinging attachment, the other is excesses. Abhishwangaha, anibhishwangaha. To watch, to what? Putra, dara, griha, adishu. Excessive attachment towards progeny, spouse, griha, and the extended family, and all the benefits that one gets out of this. Excessive attachment. Putra dara grihadishu. Excessive attachment towards this. What happens when we have excessive attachment? The mind is overcome by anxiety. Both excessive attachment, clinging attachment to things, and excessive attachments to putra, dara, griha, possession, me, my family, my family's accomplishments, all this gives you excessive attachment. What does it lead you to? Two things become very strongly embedded. They're already in the system, they get even more strongly embedded. What are those two things? One is guilt. I perhaps did not do what I could have done for my putra. That is guilt. Regret. In spite of what I did, my putra has not reached where one is supposed to reach. Okay. I wanted to do, but the situation was not conducive enough. Hurt, regret. And then comes the next one, anxiety. I have done so much for this fellow. I wonder whether he will be able to appreciate it at all. Okay? Feel bad about somebody not appreciating your achievements. So, lack of appreciation. Then, will he be able to survive in this competition? Will he be able to go ahead? Today, you have to run just to stand in one place. Anxiety. So much anxiety about the children. He should educate himself. Then what? He should get a job. Then he should get married. Then his wife should be good to him. They should have a good life together. They should not quarrel. Even the slightest of frown towards each other, you feel anxious. Oh my God, these days what is happening? Even the slightest of frown can lead to problems. Our days were much better. So anxiety. And they must have children. Then they are abroad. So they must have a house in India, close to your house. Then you must have Kuchiku, one house for your grandchild also. Depending upon which Varga you was born. Your grandmother, suppose, somebody from there's a big worry for a lot of people. My grandson should have proper Hindu values. He should be initiated into the thread. Having been initiated into the thread, he should do all the Vihita karmas properly. Then if it's a girl, then they end up learning only the Western accent. He's a grandpa. They learn only Western. So look at the anxiety which runs your life. Hey, where is time for Vedanta? There's a beautiful verse in Bhagavad. Balahastavat krida saktaha. Tarunahastavat taruni saktaha. Vriddhastavat chinta saktaha. You're only worried, anxious. There is, a whole world has problem with, let's say, low employment happening in those countries, and there's a lot of people given what is by being given pink slip. It doesn't matter to you at all. But the whole thing becomes an issue when your children are there. So left, right, and center pink slip, no problem. As long as your son's company doesn't give pink slip, it's perfectly all right. Pink stick to the next neighbor's son is perfectly okay. As long as you don't get it, it's okay. And look what kind of thinking it leads you to. Anabhishvangaha. Excessive attachment to children. Excessive attachment to griha. Griha is real estate. I don't know why they call it real estate. It causes more real problems. So you have a problem. You have so many houses. These days it's a problem. People keep buying left, right, and center. In fact, the other day I was driving down. We saw so many buildings under construction. And one of the builders said, sir, this particular place, which was a five-star or plus hotel, is now demolished and the housing complex is coming up. Each apartment cost is 40 crores. I said, my God. And he says, all of them are booked, sir. Now, suppose you are an owner of a 40 crore apartment. Will you be able to sleep in peace? So, spouse, so griha, attachment to griha. What is the attachment to griha? After me, my children should not quarrel over it. They should have saumya relationship. Their relationship should be proper. Then why don't you make a will in advance? No, no, I want. I will make will later because you think you're going to live forever. So one house for him, one house for him. So you have made two. Okay, problem should solve, no? No. They can still quarrel. House number one you made, today's market value is 50 crores. House number two you made, market value is 80 crores. You are now worried, hey, will that fellow be satisfied with 50 and will this person be satisfied with 80? Or will they come up and say, let the joint property, let both the property sold and I will take 65 crores each? They are not in talking terms. I heard from a person telling me, it's an actual thing a person told me. They had a house worth about 1 point some crores. Both the sisters said, nothing doing, I want share. The fellow had to sell the house and he gave it to both his sisters, equal share. He says, I threw the money on their faces and I told them, don't call me for weddings or death or my wedding or any wedding or death in my family. I will not call you. I have cut out all connections. Is this what you want? Thank God the parents are not. So, Putra, Dara, Griha, Adishu. So many assets. Who will take? Yeah, another thing I want to, the practical problem. You have stored your house with so many artifacts, okay? The medal they gave you, the shield they gave you, the headdress they gave you, the scarf they gave you, your collection of all the religious books and your library and things like that. After me, what will they do? Who knows? They may junk it with that kabadi wala who comes every week. You say, my God, I've collected this ages, Count of Monte Cristo. I bought in 1950. And this fellow sold it for junk for 8 rupees. Attachment to curios, attachment to your medal. This was given by my organization when I completed 25 years. This was given by my organization when I completed 50 years. This was on my retirement. And your grandson or son will say, junk, what is it worth? My books which I have collected. Fellow says, I have a Kindle edition. I don't want your books. Putra, Dara, Graha, Adishu, Anabhishwangaha. Attachment is definitely, so you can't be indifferent, say that anybody will go and take it. Excessive attachment. Excessive attachment, this place gets preoccupied. You need to have your antakarana free to be able to appreciate and own up the fact that you are a significant being. And this space is occupied by all insignificant things, preoccupied by insignificant things. And you want to download Atma Vidya, it says disk space not free. Delete old files. So what will you delete? It doesn't delete and it's not so. Even deleting from your hard disk is not so easy. Deleting from one fellow wants to upgrade from his old phone to a new phone. Why can't you just go to the shop and buy more? He will say, first I want to transfer data from this, then restore it to factory settings, and only then I will go buy a new one. Look, what do you call it? Preoccupation, obsession with old stuff. So, asakti, anabhishvangaha, in the absence of, when one has clinging desire, clinging attachment, and excessive attachment, valuable space gets preoccupied, gets filled up, and there is no space for objectivity. So asaktir anabhishvangaha putradara grihadishu. Now comes the next value. One line, the whole value is one line. Nityam cha samachittatvam. Ishthanishtopapatishu. And a very Bhagavad Gita is very practical. So one can't live away, run away from life. Having taken birth, having educated, even you could have dropped out of life long back. Even then, there's no running away. And when if you're a reasonably accomplished person, maybe not even like Arjuna, many of us reasonably accomplished. All of us are reasonably qualified, and we have a certain relationship with the world. I have work to do. I have consultancy to offer. I've got bills to pay. I've got my fees due. So many things to be done. A lot of transactions. These transactions are called vyavahara. So all these vyavahara are to be done. And vyavahara is an action. Like it or not, every action will produce results. And the results are Ishta Upapatti, Anishta Upapatti. Ishta Upapatti, desired results. Anishta Upapatti, results that I would rather not. Very often they say when they play a game, they say it's a good toss to lose. But if this fellow wins a toss, it happens very often in cricket matches. The fellow wins the toss. Now, should he decide to bat first or bowl first? It's a day-night game. So one expert, everybody who doesn't play the game is an expert that day. And when he was a player, he made all those horrendous mistakes. Everybody and his uncle is an expert. Somebody's wife, ex-cricketer's wife is also an expert. Everybody is expert. Like on the 1st of February, everybody in India is an economist. Forget about the doctorates. Everybody is an economic analyst. And the only thing they are interested in is their taxes. Everybody is an expert. And what will he say? According to the weather conditions, the pitch condition, the pitch will swing. And this fellow decides to say that I will bowl first. There is nothing called swing. There is the other way swing. And the opposition team, it was a rubbish decision. The same fellow who said good decision will now say rubbish decision. It's a spinning wicket. No, he wrote all this. I'm only giving what is written there. In the morning, the degree of spin was 2 degrees. Now it is 3.4. So the lesser spinners of the opposition have more purchase on the wicket. Look at the technical terms. Mind preoccupied with things which are not relevant at all. There are two guys fighting out there, having it's a game, and the whole world is talking. Why I'm saying is, you will have Ishta Upapatti, you have Anishta Upapatti. Everybody is gloriously appreciating all these fellows because you won the trophy. Suppose India had lost the match, what would have happened? They would have hung, they would have quartered, pickled, and hung this Virat Kohli for the 1 run he scored. And Rohit Sharma for not scoring another 20 more runs. And he could have stayed for another. Why did he rush out to hit a 6? So, Ishta, okay, we all want Ishta results. I don't want Anishta results. Let's be very practical. Tell me any one of you wants Anishta results. We all want Ishta results. But the reality is, results are not in your control. We learned it long back. Karman yeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma. So that was what we learned. Ma karma. That's the second line. That is Anishta Upapatti. So you have control over your action alone. Action will produce results. Results can be of 4 types. Ishta results of 2 types. Anishta results 2 types. Subdivisions. What is the Ishta result? More than what you expected. What you expected. So Ishta itself is 2. Anishta, less than what you expected. Right the opposite. All four results are possible. It is in Ishvara's order. There are so many factors governing these results. Ishta upapatti, anishta upapatti, nityam samachittatvam. A sense of balance, a sense of objectivity to learn to look at the results objectively. Samachitta. Samachitta means so good results drive you over the moon. And the results not you, that you don't like drags you down to the nadir. So you are here, or there's a swinging fluctuation. Up one moment, the mercurial temperament. So up one moment, down the other. And there's an advertisement these days, looking at your stock position. Are you like this or are you like this? This is what the stocks can do. A movement of graph. Just the graph moves. Your own graph movement. When that fellow is pumping pressure, I don't know what happens to him. Your pressure even otherwise goes up. There was a fellow whose blood pressure constantly used to go up. He said, I don't know what happens, but when I see you, I have these problems. So, it is always possible. The results will always be up and down. That is the nature of the result. The nature of the result, the nature of the outcome will be good, bad, indifferent. And what is the recommendation? It says Nityam cha samachittatvam. So there's something very important to be understood by Nityam cha samachittatvam. It is not a one-time measure. It is not that I have done some sadhana and I have got samachittatvam. You have to work on it on a daily basis, on a moment to basis, on a result by result basis. It is a consistent, sustained effort to maintain a sense of balance. Ball after ball. One ball you lose concentration, you're gone. You wish, oh God, I had stayed a little longer. I shouldn't have rushed out to hit that six. Every ball is to be played on its merits. Every situation is to be played on its merits. That's why it's Nityam cha samachittatvam. It's not a one-time measure. It's not that I do something and I'm suddenly balanced. Because at any point of time, one can slip. And when we look at the Puranas, that's what it says. Even the wisest, there's a saying there's a proverb, a good homer sometimes nods. What's the Tamil for that? Anybody knows? Yanaikum adisarukum. Okay, even an elephant slips in a while. That's the relationship. A good homer sometimes nods. Even the best of students, after lunch session, will nod off. Nod off. A good homer sometimes nods. Homer. Okay, so in the same way, anybody can make a mistake. Anybody is prone to make mistakes, and one must be alert. One must be mindful. A requirement to be mindful and alert all the time. Nityam cha samachittatvam ishta anishta upapattishu. Results will be up and down. All results will not be in your favor. And when things go wrong, that it is more important that when things go wrong, you have to be really mindful. When things are going very much chappar phadke, even then you have to be mindful. Because the chappar phadke kind of results can lead you to ahankara. We talked about anahankara, it can lead you to ahankara. Hey, you know what I did, you know what I achieved. So, if that samachittatvam is not there, results can lead you to ahankara. And if poor results come, it can lead you to disenchantment, which is a very, very bad thing. Disappointment, okay. I am okay with disappointments. Resolution. I am okay with disappointment. All of us are disappointed. Everybody has a little bit of disappointment. Disenchantment is not good. Enchantment pulls you down. Your scholarship is gone. Arjuna was disenchanted, not disappointed. This disenchantment is what Krishna warned against. Asocyan anvasochastvam. Disappointments, if it leads to disenchantment, there it needs to be addressed. It is a significant problem. One has to address it. So that's what they highlight. Okay. Before we go into the next one, again leads you to verse number 11, leads you to one. I will read the verse. Verse number 11. Mai chananya yogena bhakti avyabhicharini. Mai chananya yogena bhakti avyabhicharini. Vivikta desha sevitvam arati jana samsadi. Vivikta desha sevitvam arati jana samsidi. Jana samsadi. Okay. So, my other than me, okay, one should be at unwavering attachment to me alone. Krishna says, okay, me alone means not one person. We'll have to explore it in very much detail. Anya yoga, you are not distracted. You are focused. You have done Purushartha Nishchaya. You are clear about what you want in life. You are clear about how you are going to achieve it. So that is Maichan Anya Yogena Bhakti Avyabhichari. We'll see it in details in the next session. Vivikta Desha Sevitvam. A certain desire to spend time alone. Not being lonely. Spend time alone. Withdrawing and having me time. Me time not to escape. Time so that you can reflect. Constantly looking at your social media. Vivikta Desitvam. Closely for Rati means attraction. Arati, non-attraction for Jana Samsadi. Hey, wherever there are people, you go there, you are thrilled. The people's person is the value. We'll go into this in detail in our next session. Before we wind up in the last 2-3 minutes, I would like to highlight something that is very important. The fundamental question that I have, what is the purpose of my life, is a fundamental question. A moment of reckoning will trigger this question. Are answers readily available? Lucky if we are available. If answers are not available, you can offer a prayer. The prayer is, Ishvara, may the purpose of life be revealed to me. Okay, it's a wonderful prayer. May the purpose of life be revealed to me. And when the purpose of life is revealed to you, Ishvara also gives you the infrastructure to understand and own up the purpose of life. There is a fundamental need in all of us. The fundamental need is, I want to be significant. If I don't, and that if I miss it, it's an agony. If I don't find myself significant, it's an agony. In various degrees, this agony is expressed. And the purpose of one's life is to discover the fact, the truth, that I am not only a significant person, I am not only the significant person, I am the only, not person, I am the only significant being. The answer is revealed to me by the Shastras. So the primary purpose of life is to discover myself. And if I pray, may the purpose of life be revealed to me, Ishvara's duty prevents. How do I fulfill that purpose? It's a matter of seeking. I'm seeking fullness in life. And that's when the guru comes. So why do I seek a guru? The guru is the one. So when I say the purpose of life be revealed to me, the guru comes into my life and guru reveals what is the fundamental seeking, what is the fundamental problem. He not only reveals what is the fundamental problem, he also tells you what is the solution. That is the beauty of Guru in one's life, bringing a Guru into one's life. The Guru not only knows your fundamental problem, he explains the fundamental problem to you and he says, this is how you tackle it. This is how you handle that fundamental problem. And he says, it is not my teaching, it is the teaching from the parampara. It has come from the parampara. It is a tradition, and the traditional teacher knows the tradition, he also knows how to teach. A teacher is not easy to get. And when you get a teacher, the teacher will not get into the subject till he knows you are fit. Jnana yogyata is there. Otherwise, it's waste, like rain on the seas. So, jnana yogyata prapti, first step. Jnana prapti, next step. Getting a guru is very difficult. And if you have a guru, and how do you know he has got another good guru, bad guru? There is a guru. And how do you know the guru will do your job? He will reveal your fundamental problem. He will also reveal the solution. We come from a tradition where our guru, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, is perhaps the ultimate traditional teacher. He's gone in the tradition, master of the subject, master of the language, and master of teaching. And he has created hundreds of students around the world who are all taught to teach under his watchful eye. So I am proud to be in that tradition. We have inherited the tradition from Sri Swami Dayananda Saraswati. That is Acharyopasanam. You are grateful that we are in that tradition. One minute, please. Yeah. So we are in the tradition. We are proud to be in the tradition. Let's end with our Shanti mantra. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam न्यायेन मार्गेण महिमहीषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनीं देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय हो स्वामी दयानंद महाराज की जय हो सब संतों की जय हो ओम हनुमान जय श्री राम जय श्री कृष्ण we'll meet again next week. The recording will be available once it's ready. Om Namah Shivaya. Have a wonderful day. Om.
Thank you so much, sir. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri